Welcome to another thrilling episode of the Mighty Movie Pod. Episode 44. I'm Ryan.
I'm Josh.
And we're back.
Have I ever told you that every time you do that, I expect you to say, "Welcome to the world of tomorrow"?
That is what I'm going for. That's exactly what I'm going for.
That's what I figured.
Hello,
Hi.
everybody out there in internet land.
Yes.
We're back, and we're here to talk about some stuff.
We're back for the 44th time.
That's true. And we're here to talk about one thing in particular. But we always get off topic, so be prepared for that.
Yeah, we do that a lot.
Josh, what are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to discuss the newest Marvel film.
Oh.
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It's a dynamic duo, a team up.
Yes, a team-up film. I was going to make a comparison, but Thor Ragnarok was the other team-up episode.
Yeah. Him and the Hulkster.
Him and the old Hulkinator.
Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 2.
Yeah. It's anything that had War Machine / Iron Patriot in it.
We're glad they dropped that Iron Patriot thing.
Yeah.
Because, he's a villain in the comics.
Yeah, sometimes they just take stuff for like name recognition.
Yeah. And they give him the paint job and everything.
Yeah.
Like War Machine is like really aggressive.
It is, and they talk about that.
Yeah, it's funny because like he came out in the 90s and it's one of the 90s late 80s I think, and it's one of those names that's like a product of the time.
Yeah.
Like when DC's Speedy changed his name to Arsenal or I think he was the Warrior before that, and that was when he had the ability to like change shape and shit, and he could make guns out of his hands or some shit.
Holy shit.
Uh-huh.
Dude, I want gun hands.
Well, there was him, and then Marvel had their own version of that guy. His name was Random. He was on X Factor. He was a terrible character. One of my favorites, though, when I was a kid, but I was also 7.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Josh.
All right, Ryan.
What did you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp?
Fucking hated it.
Yeah, it was a piece of crap.
It was a terrible film. Oh, psych!
Oh, we got ya.
I am not proud of that. I want to do that again.
I can cut it out if you'd like.
I kind of think it'd be funny to leave it in, but at the same time, like I'm just like, oh my god, that was stupid. No, that was a dumb joke. I'll leave it in. Whatever.
No, whatever.
No, man, I loved the first one, and I think coming out of it, I was like, I don't think it was as good as the second one, and then like as the first one, and then like the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, no, it's probably just as good, if not better. They kind of doubled down on a lot of the things that I liked of the first one.
Yeah,
they definitely go for even more of that comedy in this one, and like the thing that I like about Ant-Man movies is all of them are kind of all ages friendly, but I feel like the Ant-Man movies are the ones that are really kind of geared toward like the family movie going. Like, without being cloying or annoying or anything like that. They really feel like they're for the whole family. Yeah. And I think that's great. Like I know my nephews love Ant-Man. So it kind of, that was kind of sad. Like I wish I could see it with them, but yeah, dude, I really, it's just a fun bullshit sci-fi romp, and that's what I liked a lot about this one. Was there's the superheroics that go on in all the movies, but it doesn't really feel like a superhero movie so much. It's a lot more of just wacky sci-fi fun. Yeah, it makes me think a lot of, again, I've said it before. The sci-fi movies that I loved when I was a kid, like Inner Space and Real Genius and all those, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids especially, and stuff like that, and it's another one of those, man. Paul Rudd does great. Michael Douglas continues to surprise me. I don't like Michael Douglas, but I love him in these movies. I think he's great. He's just great as cranky old Hank.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's funny because like coming off of Infinity War, where you got some heavier, bigger things happening, a lot of times people
they want you to double down on that almost.
Yeah, people after the fact are just like, well, it's not the same because they didn't get all the stuff that happened in that. But this, I know it's tying in, but it just feels like its own wacky, cool story.
Mm-hmm.
It's
crazy because it's not even set in New York like all the other ones are, or even on the East Coast, because Caps are Washington, D.C. typically, I think, if I remember right. And it's set way over here on the West Coast in San Francisco, and it really does feel like it's its own universe, its own... Because even the Guardians movies kind of feel like they fit more in the same vein. You know, and they're not even located on the same planet.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, just it's wacky, cool, fun, and it's and I'm glad that we can go back to that instead of everything being world ending and dire and kind of like desperate. You know what I mean? Like this was like him being worried about getting home and getting busted for breaking house arrest.
Yeah.
Those were the stakes.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like that's one little niggle I have with the movie, where it's like they state openly in the beginning of the movie, they're just like, anytime something happens, we have to come investigate it.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the movie, it happens again, but they don't go to his house to investigate it. So it's kind of like it kind of reminded me of the first one there with the whole escape plan and everything, where it seems a lot more elaborate than it needed to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, it's the most fun standalone ones that I consistently fun standalone ones. You know, like, because you got Thor and they're kind of standalone, but they usually end up somehow tying back into everything. And it feels like, for the most part, Ant-Man movies are entirely exclusive.
Yep.
And I really enjoy that about them.
Me as well.
What did you think of the car chase?
Well, I was actually, when you brought up that it was in San Francisco, I was going to tell you that my favorite car chases are San Francisco car chases.
Oh, yeah, like The Rock. That one's fantastic.
Yeah, so I was excited to see that.
Extreme hills and everything, so it's super fun. But I think this was my favorite car chase since Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Dude, it was just really creative, really fun, and it's just, I don't know, the most recent one we got was Black Panther, and that chase was the most boring car chase I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems. And it's a lot of, not only was the car chase the choreographing it, but also the stakes and what was happening in the story kind of made it go, who cares?
Yeah, it was this weird aside in the middle of the movie.
It was like insert action scene here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But in this one, man, they were shrinking, they were growing, everything was going crazy. You know, they utilized the power set in these movies really fun and really creative.
And that's another thing that makes it kind of more, stands out more, and it's kind of on its own, doing its own wacky thing, because sorry, but you have Captain America and he's really strong.
He's got a shield.
Yeah, and then you have Iron Man. It's like he's really strong because of the suit, and then sometimes he'll do something creative with the suit. But it's also like, we've been watching that now for fucking ever.
Oh yeah, you know what's funny though is I was watching the first Iron Man here real recently, and like there is a certain brutality and beefiness and industrial like hardcore things to the first fights in the first movies, when they were still using practical effects for the suit. It wasn't wholly CGI. There was just this weight to all the fights, like that first fight where he comes in to the Ten Rings, that one where he comes, he gets the warning, and it's the first time we see the real suit. And he's fighting them. There's like weight to the punches and stuff. And I feel like we've lost some of that. The more streamlined this suit is improved and stuff like that. So the Iron Man fights are still really cool to see. And I agree, but I agree with you that there is it's a little OP, you know? Yeah. And it's almost stagnant. And there's a lot of momentum that goes on in the Ant-Man fights. They're big, they're small, they're big, they're small. Yeah. And they get it even better now that him and Wasp are working as a team. Yeah. Because they've got this one cool shot when they're fighting Ghost in one of the last scenes, and he's like boxing her up, and he kicks her and she knocks him back, and he shrinks down real quick, pops back up, and launches Wasp over him. And she kicks her in the face, and then it's this constant cycle of movement that's going on, and it's really cool to see. They film it really well, I think.
Oh yeah,
sure. It gets better and better, dude. It's I love these movies. They're so great, and it's, you know, even I've expressed it a couple times where I'm getting a little worn out with the Marvel formula, but a fresh thing for me is always an Ant-Man movie. But, you know, Infinity War kind of reinvigorated all that.
Yes.
But at the same time, like we're saying, it's stuff that we've seen before. And it's I think that the Ant-Man movies they add a little bit of freshness, just a little bit of spice to it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Having it be more comedic, having the power set be different, you know what I mean? Because a lot of overlapping power sets going on.
Oh, yeah,
Marvel
you're talking about how
characters.
Ghost is different?
Yes. Well, I mean, just the shrinking and all of that, and like what that enables them to do, plus Ghost being different than just
evil Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. Yeah, I get what your point is now, dude, because you got Iron Man who's strong because of the armor, you got Hulk who can smash, you got Thor who can smash,
who can hit stuff.
Yeah, you got Captain America who's just another guy with a prop, you know.
Yeah.
And I get you with where Ant-Man, it's all about the science of it. And
yeah, because some of the best stuff in Infinity War was
Strange.
Peter or Strange, because they're it's always nice to see Spider-Man doing weird
swinging around
doing weird stuff, and then Strange was fucking ridiculously
Strange
cool.
was mind-blowingly cool,
and then everybody else kind of was like, we're gonna fight really hard.
Yeah,
and it's like Thor had a good moment, and other than that, fucking Black Panther. He runs around and he punches stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're all cool because you like the characters, but this is the one movie where like the superhero powers are what is cool.
They seem to be more free with it, and they do a lot more fun things with it. Like when they first walk into the lab, it's this ridiculous. There's an ant with a drill and a welding, and one with a welding torch, and one's walking around with a little hard hat on, I think, and stuff.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre and it's so funny, and it's just wacky, and it seems like with the Ant-Man concept, they're just like, no, Ant-Man can be super fun and super cool. Let's just do whatever we want.
Yep.
And they've done it from the beginning, and they doubled down. Like I said, they doubled down on it in this one, and I'm enjoying the current wave of doubling down on the wackiness of these comic books and stuff that's been going on since Guardians 2, and even Strange, Doctor Strange. They were like dipping their toe in. And people responded well, so they were ready to open up to more of these bizarre things. Like the quantum realm looks nuts. Oh yeah. And it's like the Ant-Man movie, like the first one. It's got a little bit of that heart, that little family thing to it, and it's the beats don't necessarily hit as strong as they did in the first one. But they're still there, and that's what I think is great. Is like it's still at its core. It's always been about the person and stuff. Like you got Scott's struggle to be a good dad and everything like that, and then you got Hank and Hope's loss and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which is the central focus of this one.
Definitely, and the comedy aspect of this one. The tech also, like the power sets and stuff, like set up some really good visual comedy.
Great visual jokes. Oh my god, the one in the school.
Yes, it was hilarious.
Absolutely hysterical.
Hey you, and then he just starts scuttling off.
He just scurries away. Aren't you supposed to be in class? And then
he just didn't care.
He's just like, hey, aren't you supposed to be in class? Hey,
that was good. Paul Rudd always does a good job.
And he actually wrote for this one too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He was listed. There were. It's another one of those ones that's written by a bunch of people.
Yeah.
But like I felt like a lot of what Paul wrote, given like looking at other projects that he's been involved in, really was like the main focus of this one. There were just maybe people there to polish it up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But like Peyton Reed's continually surprising me with these. They're still real good. I really, really like them, man. I love everything they do with Cop Dad or Cop Boyfriend. Is she married to him yet? Or?
I think they're married. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's funny. He's
so funny. Get in your buddy. He's constantly hugging him like he loves him.
That family dynamic, and I talked about it. You can go back and listen to the other episode for the first movie. I talk about they represent like a divorced family the best of like any movie I've seen.
Yeah, you're not getting that status quo, dad's a piece of shit or stepdad's a piece of shit or whatever. Yeah. No, they're both good dudes that care about this family and they're trying.
This one took him and kind of just made him goofy.
Yeah.
But still, it carries over from the first one, so I'm like, I like it.
Well, I thought he was still like a good dude and stuff. It's just that there's not much to do with his character. No. So, why not just make him a funny dude, a funny aside?
I guess while we're talking about stuff they did right or different, they changed one of the problems from the first one when it came to the villain.
Yes.
And the villain is kind of a duo.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do we want to go into spoilers? We always do.
We always do. Go see it if you want to see it. It's super duper good. We love it. If you don't want to hear spoilers, don't listen from here on, because we're going to get into the only real spoiler in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah, and so the main villain is a duo with Lawrence Fishburne and Ghost.
And Ghost, who I don't know who she is. I don't know who she's played by.
I do not know.
I've seen her before.
Yeah, so have I.
Shit, I forgot
so
my
it's
phone.
less of I'm evil, and it's more of like tragic past mixed with we have a plan, and it kind like to help this person, but we kind of got to do some shit to make it happen.
Well, and she's a product too, because like S.H.I.E.L.D. got a hold of her and made her into an assassin and used and abused her and twisted her.
Yes, exactly.
And now we're getting into her final days, and she's desperate, and that's what it is. It's not her being evil, it's her desperation to save herself, and that she's going to use every skill that she has to get to that, and there are acceptable losses.
Yeah, and the person who can help her isn't a bad dude at all.
Oh, no.
He doesn't like Hank.
Yeah.
So that
but
makes,
no one likes Hank.
But nobody likes Hank.
Yeah.
Like, even, I think it's Michael Pena says it. He says, wow, you have a lot of falling out with people.
Yeah. He says something. You have a lot of falling out with people.
So he's just there kind of like, I'm gonna help her, but as soon as she tries, like, gets a little too crazy,
he's like mad at him because her dad worked for Hank and he got fired, and the reason that she's messed up is because he wasn't working with what he possibly could have at Pimtech.
Yeah. So it was more of a sympathetic villain who wasn't really a villain, and then you had somebody there like keeping the person in check.
Yeah,
like.
They
had a weird relationship.
She's just like, he has a daughter, and he's like, you lay a hand on that kid, and I'm not helping you.
Yeah,
and she's like, we can do other stuff, and I was like, oh god, she's gonna go after the mom or something now.
Yeah.
But no, and then I love because they give you a red herring in Warden from G.I. Joe, guy from Justified. Sheriff, everything we're talking about.
From Vice Principals.
They give you a red herring in him where they set him up like and I was like, I honestly went, oh no.
Yeah.
Because I was like, is it really corporate dick sleaze bag again?
Yeah,
and no, I was really pleasantly surprised that the main quote unquote villain is Ghost and Bill.
Yeah, and there's not, like you said.
And he's just like this random Justin Hammer side.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, there's not really even a villain. They kind of hold him up from accomplishing their goal, which is also what the FBI is doing because they're on the run, and it's just basically being inconvenienced by people who have their own agendas.
Well, that was one thing I was going to say too, was I felt like they handled the fallout from Civil War in this movie better than Infinity War did, and better than I expected them to in this. Where I love that exposition dump that Agent Woo does through talking to the kid. They played it for comedy.
It was a joke, but it also was letting everybody know.
They played it for comedy. They did exposition well, where they play the whole thing for comedy, and it's really really good. And it's I like that there were rules, and he screwed up, and and he wasn't, and it was everything we were hoping it would be, because he's not in a good place with Hank and Hope because he screwed up.
Yeah,
he really screwed up, and like he ruined their plans and the way and everything they fought for in the first movie was just gone now because you used Pimtech, so he counts as an accomplice.
Yep.
So now we're gonna go get him. And they're just like, you fucked everything up, dude. What did you do? Why did you do this? And he's like, well, Cap asked me. And then they make fun of him for calling him Cap.
Yeah,
they're
that
best
was funny.
friends. Yeah. Captain.
Yeah, that's what we call him.
It's a we now. And I love that it does tie-ins like that, but it still plays it like it's a joke. Like, you're not one of them.
Yeah. Nobody was going to rip the world apart. It
was like Homecoming.
Yeah,
in that.
Exactly. Nobody was going to kill anybody. It was literally
just a rescue mission
to save her. To save herself. They were going to fuck up Hank's plans and possibly sacrifice his wife, which we're not even sure if is a thing to a certain extent until later on in the movie. And it's like, those are the odds. And all of a sudden they need to not get caught.
Yeah. Don't get caught. Yeah. There's no world-shattering crisis going on.
That's the whole thing.
It's funny, too, because like when they introduce her dad and he's talking about the quantum portal that he built, and I was like, he built it in a warehouse. Here we go. It's going to go out of control. No, it blew up. It imploded, basically, and just affected everything there. There was no rip in the space-time continuum or anything like that. It's a much smaller movie. Even smaller in scale than I would say than I would say the first Ant-Man, where it was, if he gets Pym particles, it'll destroy the world.
And he's going to sell it to Hydra and fucking Jesus Christ. Yeah. Exactly. It's
very character based.
Yeah, I really liked that. And like you said, it wasn't even like when Ghost showed up, it's like some personal beef. It had nothing to do with like, we've been messing around in the quantum realm and these are the repercussions of that. Yeah, and now she came through or something. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking was going to happen.
I thought it was like she came through and got trapped here or something and just wanted to go home, which I think is still a way to do something cool like that, but keep it smaller in scale. She just wants to go home, like an evil E.T. kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I liked the whole
Super 8.
Yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, dude, and that's again, dude, it feels like those old, early 90s, mid to late 80s movies and stuff, and it captures the spirit of those type of things, and that's why I really, really enjoy the Ant-Man movies the most. They're probably aside from the Cap movies, they're my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah, Thor are my favorites, followed very closely by Ant-Man, especially this one. I liked it. I wouldn't say a lot more, but I liked it more than the first one. Not saying the first one's bad. It just had more of everything, and it fixed some of the problems that I had from the first one, which I don't know is origin story based, villain based, or switching directors based, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of like sticking to the old, like, no, we have our formula and you'll stick with what we have to say. Like, I feel like Disney was still a little bit hard on like no, we have to do things
in your first movie, your villain has to be the evil version of you.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, can you please stop this?
Yeah,
that was what I liked about
Black Panther. They did it again.
Exactly. Fuck? That's kind of one of the things that like I still champion for Doctor Strange, where there is an evil him, but he's not the villain. The villain is the guy that he's serving the whole time. So there's a little bit of wiggle room with that one, but no, dude, it's typically like, nope, bad version of us, or me or whatever.
And we talked about it already, but the fact that Ghost is. Her power set is completely different, although
it's still
their tech can also influence where her kind of powers come from, but they're completely different.
Well, and they use her powers in really interesting ways, like how she gets Hank to give her the lab. But that scene was really crazy to me. I was like, oh my God,
Yeah, what is she doing to
her? Oh Jesus. But no, she they do this really cool thing where like her powers aren't anything like hers, but they're crazy, so they have to think on their feet. Her powers are totally, and the two of them together prove a much better fight to her, because like if she phases out of the way of one of them, she has to deal with the other one. And it's like I said, it's high octane, it's real fast, and I love that the fight scenes are real fast, real quick, and there's a lot of momentum involved in them. Wasp had a fantastic showing. I was really glad that she did awesome.
Wasp was awesome.
She was. It's
when
so
she
funny.
First suits up, you're just like, hell yeah, this is the best.
This is gonna be great, and it's so funny because I was telling you about it. I was like, it's just weird because it feels like Scott's gotten even worse at being Ant-Man.
Yeah, but
until the end of the movie where he's like not all of a sudden.
He's been out of the game.
Yeah,
he was like top level going into the Civil War. Now it's been 2 years, man. He hasn't done shit.
He's been hiding that suit in a trophy.
The world's greatest grandma
trophy. I love the scenes where he randomly grows big. I love that it's not conscious in that, like, he doesn't choose to do. I think the only time he chose to get big was when he swam up on the boat.
Yeah.
But I also love that there's a physicality to that, and there's like weight, and he moves slower and everything, and it's harder for him to breathe because like that suit's not built for the oxygen it would take to. And I feel like that's part of it, and also the fact that he's moving he's so big in such a different gravity. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know science or physics, but I know that they're trying to adhere to some type of law.
Yeah.
And I think it's great because he gets real sluggish and real tired and stuff like that. I think it's great.
Yeah.
And he gets the biggest we've ever seen him get in this one.
It's true. He's very large.
He was extremely large.
Very large. Yeah, and then defeating one of the villains, quote unquote, was poking him and taking the thing you needed.
That was stop it. You're embarrassing yourself. Sit. No.
I'm glad that they kept Michael Pena in doing his thing.
The Wombats were great in this one, dude. I was so glad to see them come back, dude. T.I.'s, T.I.
Yeah.
But the guy that does the Russian accent, he's still the funniest of the three of them to me. Michael Pena's he does one of his stories, and it's the way they set it up great, and it pays off great, and because it's total nonsense.
It is, and it's great. And then they had him driving a car and using some of the tech.
Oh, when he gets when he gets his moment, that was super awesome. I love you, Dr. Pym. Use the Hot Wheel Rally car set. Oh, the what?
I love you, Dr. Pym.
Yeah, and that was the car chase, and the car chase is so cool in the movie. They're shrinking under cars, and they're going through traffic, and then they're big, and then they're small, and it's they're taking corners. It's the best scene is that slow motion jump scene.
Oh yeah,
that was great. Oh no, and then the one where the car crashes into the bricks was super funny. Michael Pena panicking in the front seat. That was super funny. I'm gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, just all around. They killed it. If you liked Ant-Man, holy shit, they doubled down.
They doubled down.
You get double the dose.
I said that
because there's two.
Don't take that. I didn't even think that. Oh man, I'm making double down puns. Bleh. Words. I'm making smaller puns.
Yeah. Tons of puns.
I'm punning it. I'm having fun.
Oh God. No.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's just, after Infinity War, I'm sure everybody's like, what's happening in the universe?
Yeah.
And I guess if you've already seen the movie, or if you don't give a shit, they have one post-credit scene to tie it in. That's it.
Yeah. It's a good scene.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine.
Yeah, it was really good. I like the way they tied it in, and it explains... It lends some good explanation as to why he might still be there.
Yeah.
And everything, because he technically isn't in the universe at that time. I'm gathering that he's outside of everything.
Yeah, Yeah.
I don't know how the subatomic world works.
Yeah, neither do I. Then again, he may have just not been chosen. Yeah. Does it work? Did Thanos have the ability to get rid of them on a different plane of existence?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Does it count as another reality?
Perhaps it does. We'll see where he comes in. Obviously, his ability to do crazy stuff will probably have a little bit of a influence on the next one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. I don't think a line of dialogue about like, oh, fucking watch out for all the stupid shit in there is like grounds for.
It is, Ryan. It is.
If you get stuck
in it, I saw you roll your eyes when I started talking about it.
Like, we won't be able to get you back. And I'm just like, okay, I think.
Nah, man. They'll get him back, Ryan, and then he'll take him through.
Yeah. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. You are going to owe me so much money.
I think
for the bet that we
I think like
make.
Lawrence Fishburne's going to like come and get him back.
No, he's gone too. You're so annoyed.
The speculation
right
is
now.
unnecessary. I agree.
Oh, it's not speculation.
I agree.
It's not speculation.
Josh, it is speculation.
It's
I
not
agree
speculation.
that the most likely course of action for the Avengers is to go back in time to some extent. Do I think him being in the quantum realm has anything to do with that? I don't think Ant-Man's going to be the vessel of time travel. I just don't see it happening.
Okay. You'll you can tell me how right I was when I'm right and you're wrong.
I mean,
it's confirmed, Ryan. It's confirmed by me.
I mean, I'm not going to argue the fact that they might go back in time, and he'll also be there.
They do,
and he might also be there, but I don't think he's going to be the vessel for that.
He will. He will.
He's pretty incompetent without the other people there to help him.
Ryan, he set up the thing, and he said that they were good to go, and he gave them the van.
That's true. They do have the van,
and he remembered the motion sensors.
It's true, he did.
So, when I'm right, you can thank me, and then pay me $1 million.
I think you're taking the bait.
I'm not taking a bait.
I think it was actually intentional misdirection.
I don't think it was intentional misdirection. I think it was intentional direction.
I disagree, but I do look forward. To having some Ant-Man, a little bit of Ant-Man joking going on in the next Avengers. Not that there was plenty of that going on in Infinity War. You had the fucking Guardians, you had Thor, you had Peter.
Yeah, the comedy was fantastic.
But I just like Ant-Man a lot. He's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Paul
and when
Rudd.
he saves the day, you're gonna thank me.
Well, I mean, they're all there, Josh. They're all gonna be there.
No, it'll be Ant-Man all day.
Him and his boy Cap.
They're best friends. They're chums.
They're best friends.
When Cap needs help, you go.
You do.
They showed up at my house. They said, Cap needs help.
Cap needs you. Yeah.
Okay.
Go see the movie. Is there anything else you'd like to talk about, Josh?
I don't know, man. Did you have anything you wanted to get into? What do you think of the Nutcracker?
Nutcracker in the Four Realms?
Yeah. Is she the Nutcracker?
I don't... Is this based on anything?
It's based on the play, The Nutcracker.
But what is the... I thought the play, The Nutcracker, was just like...
The Nutcracker?
They just did ballet.
They do ballet. There's a story to it. Oh. And she goes through... There is a story to it, and it goes through... It looks like they have a little bit of the story going on in this, but it looks... weird.
It looks like a weird Alice in Wonderland type ripoff.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It looks like they were like, hey, people like that Alice in Wonderland that Tim Burton did. Why don't we do it?
Did people like that?
I thought people did.
Oh, I didn't like it.
I never saw it.
Oh, you didn't see it?
No.
I didn't like it very much.
Okay.
It's not great or good. She puts on armor at one point. I remember that. It was like silvery.
That seemed to be a thing at the time, because didn't Snow White and the Huntsman come out
also,
and she was all armored up?
Later, yeah, it did. It was actually a few years later.
Was it a few years later? I thought it was actually like within the same year, or if not the next.
I think it was a couple years later, if not a few years later.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that was a thing they like throwing in the trailers, is like princess wearing fucking armor. Okay.
And this one, she dresses up like a Nutcracker.
Yeah, she does.
I'm like, so is she the nut? It's odd to me, because the trailer didn't show me enough for me to be like, to identify it as the Nutcracker.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're calling it the Nutcracker, but it's just playing with the name, and they're going to do whatever the hell they want.
Exactly. I just didn't pay even enough attention to have the slightest idea of what's going on with that. And that was the only trailer that I saw, except for the end of Dumbo, and I found out that Dumbo flies.
That blew my mind that you did not know that Dumbo flew. Like, that's kind of the whole story.
I didn't know what his deal was.
Yeah,
but what does that do for him? He's an elephant.
He's a flying elephant, man.
Oh. Is that the appeal?
I done seen about everything. When I seen an elephant fly, never mind, man. That's the racial stereotype crows they're singing. They're saying, "Oh, mammy, he done flew over the coop." Woo! Lord, yes.
You think they're gonna make it into this one?
No.
You don't think so?
No. The talking mouse doesn't even seem to have made it into this one, so I doubt that the blackface crows are gonna show up. In this political climate. No, there was that one. Oh, so you like went like the good way and showed up late for all the trailers. No, dude, I got there on time. So I saw all the trailers, and they were all pretty bad. Yeah, there's a Jack Black Harry Potter ripoff that's also like
the Clock on the Walls.
The Clock on the Walls, yeah. It's like Lemony Snicket and Harry Potter rolled into one.
Yeah, I saw that when it first hit, and I was just like, I don't know what to fucking think about that movie.
That was the weird thing for me, where I was just looking at a lot of those trailers. I was like, all these movies look like they're set in the same world. Like the Dumbo did, the Nutcracker did. And then that one did, and then there was the one for another hotel in Transylvania movie.
Yeah,
and he goes on like a cruise, and
it's Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation.
Summer Vacation, thank you. Yeah, and I'm just like, these movies, it's more that like lowest common denominator, like DreamWorks type of typical movie, which I don't like. I don't know, dude. The only DreamWorks ones that I look forward to these days are like the How to Train Your Dragons.
And they're making another one, yeah.
Yeah, they're making a third one. So I think there's 3 books. I don't know much about the books. I've never read it. I gave the first one to my nephew. He liked it.
So, you know what, Josh? You know what you have not seen? What? And I also have not seen. But you haven't seen The Incredibles 2 yet?
I still need to see Incredibles 2. Apparently, it's the best Pixar movie ever.
Look to the description of this video to figure out that people say that about every new anything.
About every new Pixar movie.
New Pixar movie, new Marvel movie. Doesn't matter. It's always the best one since the last one. But unless you're talking about like Cars 2. Everybody has come together to hate Cars 2.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I wish they'd get that way about Bug's Life.
I preferred Ants. So
Woody Allen, so
I know
brave.
you
so brave, Ryan.
I know you were worried about going to the movie theater with all the children. Here's the problem: children don't care about The Incredibles 2. They've been growing up. They've been growing up with real superhero movies.
You know what?
And that's what they care about. I heard that every showing that you'll ever go to of Incredibles 2
is
30-year-old dudes saying, "Where is my super suit?" and laughing and waiting for the movie to start.
Oh, Lord.
Apparently that's every single one.
That sounds even worse than hanging out with a bunch of annoying kids. Jesus Christ.
You go ahead and you go see that and you'll fit right in.
Jesus Christ. I'm not doing that, man.
But how will you know?
Where the super suit is?
Where his super suit is.
I know where it is.
And I don't. Apparently, he's got a new line.
Why do you need to know? Remember that? And so I remember that scene being real funny, but like that wasn't the driving force for that movie. It wasn't even the funniest line in the movie to me.
Well, there you go. So whenever you feel comfortable, you go ahead and see that. And
I'm gonna.
And you let me know about it.
I'll tell you. I'll probably see it.
I'll wait for it.
I'll probably see it here this week.
I'll wait for it. Unless I don't.
So brave.
I don't remember what happened in the first one.
I told you.
I was literally 12 years old.
Jesus. I was like 20.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a great movie, man.
That's correct. Yeah, and I remember really liking it. But fuck, man, that was a long time ago.
Yeah. That was just funny. I remember when they announced it, and I was like, oh, you mean that movie I wanted a sequel to 15 years ago?
Exactly. Takes Brad Bird that long.
Yeah, he's a busy man, dude. Did Brad Bird come back for this one?
Yeah, it's Brad Bird.
Good for him, dude. Good. Oh, then I'm definitely going to check it out.
Yeah.
Because I like that Brad Bird. I like that Iron Man, that Iron Giant. I like that Ghost Protocol.
Yeah. He did Ghost Protocol.
He did Ghost Protocol.
Rogue Nation is the guy who's doing Fallout, right? McQuarrie.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I want to see that Fallout as well.
I really want to see Fallout. When's that coming out?
Like a week.
Are you serious?
Yeah, July.
Son of a bitch. Okay,
yeah. Yep. So we got stuff coming. There's stuff I want to see, but when it comes to Ant-Man, shit, man. Usually we like to unpack these movies, but
there's not a lot to unpack.
I got unpacked. It's just a fun romp to watch.
See, and I was just gonna say, dude, that's the thing about them that I like is they're fun. They're simple. They're not stupid.
No,
they're just fun and simple, and there's nothing wrong with a fun, simple movie.
It's
just straightforward, good old action, wacky sci-fi romp.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like we describe why it's good, why we think it's good, I guess.
I know, it's funny. We sat down and I was like, well, I don't know what else to say now.
Yeah. And
they're fun.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
Not everything has to be a big scene worth discussing and how it affects the MCU and blah, 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 blah. We go over that shit and it's fun to do so. But sometimes it's fun to just be like, there was ants.
One of them had a power drill.
And it was dumb.
One of them was named Antonio Banderas. Because he was badass. What would he name the other one?
Ulysses S. Grant.
S. Grant. You like that one? No.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So that's about it. I think that's gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Quick, simple, easy. We will be back next week, of course. Mighty Movie Pod coming at you every Monday.
Every Monday.
We've been going strong.
Two
Mondays in a row.
I was gonna say, are we doing 2 Mondays in a row? We're gonna keep this momentum up.
We're keeping the momentum. There's plenty to see. There's plenty we want to see. There's plenty to say. Our last episode was like an hour and a half long,
and we didn't even talk about a movie. Yeah, we didn't see anything. We just babbled about Star Wars.
It's true. So you can find us on all major podcasting apps, including Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play. We're on YouTube. He
does this thing where he swings his head around when he does it. It's really funny.
YouTube, Mighty Fish Productions, twitch.tv/Mighty Fish Productions. You can follow us on Twitter at Mighty Fish Pod. You can email us at mightyfishproductions@gmail.com. I have been the best, the host with the most, the main man, who without this podcast could not happen, Ryan.
I'm Josh.
And we will catch you next time.
I feel bad now.
Goodbye.
I'm going to go home.